In this video, we are going to plot shapes on the coordinate plane. So let's take our first example, plot the following points and determine what shape they create. So here we have 4 points and we are going to just plot them. So first let's plot this point. I'll go ahead and write that this is the x-axis and then this is the y-axis, right? So the point 1, 6 is going to be 1 in the x direction and then 6 in the y direction. So this is going to be 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then our second point is 1, 1, so that is over 1 and then up 1, right? And then 6, 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then our last point is 6, 1, so it's going to be here, which is over 6, and then up 1 in the y direction. And now we can simply just create line segments to the closest points to determine what shape they make, right? So let's do that. So to this point, and then here to here. And this isn't the most perfect drawing. Sorry, this is the most perfect drawing, but you get the idea. And then here. And this looks more like a rectangle, but if we were to count how far it is, right, we can determine that this is a square because it is 5, and I'll write this in blue. Right here is 5 because we go from 1 to 6, and then here is also 5 because we go from 1 to 6. So this is actually a square. So now let's take a look at this problem. And this wants us to plot the following points and determine what shape they create. And here we have -4, 2, 2, -2, and -1, 3. So I just want to point out, since there are only 3 points, the only real shape that it can make is a triangle. But let's just determine this by actually plotting the points here. So -4 is going to be left on the x-axis. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4 in the left direction, and then down 2. So that is the point right here. And then our next point is 2, -2, so that's 2 right in the x direction, and then down 2. So that is here. And then -1, 3, so that's -1 here, left in the x direction, and then up 3. 1, 2, 3. And we can see here that this does in fact create a triangle. But I'll go ahead and draw this out by connecting these points. And now that we have this triangle plotted here, we could use the points to determine the side lengths and the height. So I just want you to keep this in mind, that you can use the coordinates to not only plot the shape, but also figure out the area and even the perimeter. And now let's do this problem. So this problem tells us to plot the following points and determine what shape they create. And then after we do that, we want to determine the area of the shape. So let's begin by plotting the points, and here we have -5, 0, so this is -1, -2, -3, -4, and then -5, and then it's 0 in the y direction, so that's on the x-axis. And then -5, 6, so that's in the same place in the x direction, but now we want to go up 6. So that will be here, roughly. And then 0, 0, well, that's just the origin, right? So that's point is going to be here. And then 0, 6 is going to be 0 in the x direction, and then a 6 in the y direction, so that is going to be here. And now to determine what shape it makes, let's first actually connect the dots, right? To here. These shapes are not perfect, but you get the idea. And then here to here. And this looks more like a trapezoid, but it is a rectangle. If you were to count out the distance, this would be, let's see, it goes up 6 here. So this will be 6. This side is also 6. And then this side here is 5. Now to find the area, we can just multiply the length times the width, which you know how to do. And we don't know our units here, so we will just say in units squared. And this will be 30 units squared, or square units.